That's not seeing eye to eye. Then you got a hater who's providing no value to the world, that his whole purpose is to try to destroy it. Those two people are not the same. On a certain level, one we can have a conversation with eventually, or maybe not, but it's not a real problem.
Same growing up with when I first met everyone up there, was I not saying Microsoft, Nvidia, Bitcoin, and give people then follow suit?
Yes.
Is there issues that people may have? Cool, but the timing of it is always interesting to me. If everyone's making money, why?
Get your free time back at Wall Street Trapper and Aristotle. Indeed, Joe Budden would invite Ian Dunlop and Rashad Bilal, the creators of the Earn Your Leisure business, to appear on The Joe Budden Show. Now, what Ian and Rashad would say would give us a good idea of where they perceive themselves in terms of financial literacy, but keep in mind that we were all in this situation when Ian and Rashad were on Earn Your Leisure and made references to certain people who were not repaying their debts and were imitating their methods.
If they got a stock show, they copy. If they went to another continent, they copied us. These are the same people that'll ask you for help and then say, no, I'm self-made.
Or won't repay their loan back from 3 years ago. Send my money back.
Aristotle and Wall Street Trapper would then reply on their respective platforms.
You sold Mr. Biggest and you the biggest this, biggest that. You ask money. I'm not. I don't got smoke with Ian, but band for band, skunking him too. Shad is really call them B-A-N, ban. All they had to do was leave me alone when I bought the building. He incentivized somebody to come up to, he said, listen, if you go post all these bad things about Aristotle, I will let you be on Investfest. He also lied on me and said, I begged him to come to Investfest. Then Rashad also lied and said, I begged him to get on EYL podcast. Telling me they come with me because Trap didn't f me back in the day.
We done talk, bro. On that show, you said, need to pay back my $3 million. I mean, the money I had from 3 years ago. Bro, we just talked on the phone, literally just now, and you was like, hey, bro, I ain't say that, dog. When y'all start poking at a man's ego, when y'all start poking at a man's character, that's some dangerous waters. Nobody not copying y'all, bro, and especially not me. Financial literacy should not be beef.
And now we are in the present day. Let's now discuss what Ian and Rashad had to say. Ian Dunlop is up first. He claimed that once Investfest occurs, individuals begin pursuing fame and influence. That's funny, since a lot of this began when Ian and Rashad would claim on their platform that people were imitating them and that they had to repay their debts. In addition, Ian claims that his style was imitated. Recall the 2 tech and 2 investment strategies. Do what he says, purchase Apple and Nvidia, and you'll be all set. People imitate that, he says. That seems to be a reference to Wall Street Trapper now. Because to give Ian some credit, I do believe he made some of the same points. To me, his advice is similar to Ian's, much like Wall Street Trapper. What's the point of giving Wall Street Trapper credit? Clearly, Wall Street Trapper is attempting to reach a different kind of audience, and I don't believe Ian interacts with that audience. In essence, they are salespeople who visit various communities and critique one another's approaches to closing deals. However, their sales strategies don't actually need to differ from one another. All they need to do is figure out how to reach new audiences. I believe that Ian engages in that arrogance even though he violates the connection and chemistry that are necessary in the space, which is why I'm out with him, even though I kind of am with him. For example, I receive more bread and more money than you do. And that's the problem with all of these guys. They want to talk about togetherness, but as soon as they start arguing, it's always, I get more money than you. My life is superior to yours. It makes you wonder if you've always felt that way about the folks you converse with. At the All-Star Game, you take charge with your money like a badass. Okay, Rashad is up next. Additionally, he spoke back and forth with Joe Budden about a variety of subjects. He initially gives the impression that he picked up some tips on how to generate a lot of interest from Joe Budden or someone similar. And I have previously said so on this channel. Both Ian and Rashad attended Joe Budden's school. It appears that they are impersonating Joe Budden when they acquire financial literacy, correct? I frequently argue that Rashad seems more like he's trying to get on a clue tape than he is giving financial advice. Because of the way they talk, their cadence, and the way they stare into the camera, they're mimicking someone who used to rap and turned into a podcaster. Because they lead with their provocation, keep in mind that they will always find a way to get into a fight with someone. And while I'm not suggesting that's a terrible thing, their persona makes it necessary for there to be no unity in the room. Rashad goes on to suggest that he might be able to work things out with some folks and not with others. He might be alluding to Wall Street Trapper and Aristotle. In my opinion, since Earn Your Leisure and Wall Street Trapper were formerly somewhat entwined, I assume he could piece it together with Wall Street Trapper. Wall Street Trapper would appear on the show multiple times. Additionally, Wall Street Trapper's comments about Earn Your Leisure weren't all that negative. On the other side, Aristotle is now saying crazy things. He has good reason to say it, therefore I'm not saying that it's bad that he does. Not him, that is. It's not how I feel. I'm stating that he believes his statement is supported by Earn Your Leisure's assertions. But I'm referring to Aristotle's remarks about Michael, the man who helps run Earn Your Leisure, and his girlfriend, stating things like, yo, he needed to pay $1 million to marry his girl or something like that. And he's also referring to Rashad as a punk and soft. So I think that they may need to start a violent altercation at this point, as Rashad and Aristotle are putting it. That's the way it sounds. After all, Aristotle said that ILL was distributing bounties like Diddy in the 1990s regarding death row chains. Now, that is only conjecture and a claim. Okay, so this is our current situation. We shall have to wait and see. Investfest will soon take place. Be sure to purchase your tickets. You will receive the money and the large sums of money if you are a participant in Investfest. Ish also disclosed that he will be giving a speech at Investfest.
I assume he will discuss housing and other related topics. As you can see from the Investfest ticket prices, a lifetime VIP pass costs $10,000. On the day of VIP entrance, you receive $1,500, and normal admission costs $300, which is not bad. Twitter user Jack Dorsey is speaking. Give a shout out to Jack Dorsey, please. Another person. You know what? I want to discuss this Earn Your Leisure stuff with Jack Dorsey. Why is it that people claim that people only fight in this area? You know what Twitter is? The speaker attending Investfest was formerly the CEO. He was at odds with folks all over the place. Noah, do you know, Ev, that Jack supposedly pushed for Noah to be fired from the company because of a girl? Are you aware that Jack and E were at odds? I'm merely stating this because if you look at how companies are started and interpersonal conflicts occur, you'll realize that these kinds of incidents occur daily in all professions. Competition is essential. People are motivated by competition. There must be competition. They will disappear as soon as Wall Street Trapper and Aristotle cease competing. You won't be as driven in the long run if you don't desire to outperform the next man. Following that, you will be pursued by others beneath you. They will be chasing after you. Furthermore, they won't adopt the mindset that says, oh, we shouldn't beef in the space. Additionally, I was a little put off by all that was said, because competition is inherently human in any sector with limited resources. There are, of course, some situations in which you might be cool, but I can't think of a single businessman who wasn't competitive. To stay motivated, you must be able to identify problems. You cannot be motivated when you are not being challenged. Now, there is a distinction between healthy competition and competition in which all participants are destroyed. There, it is the equilibrium. Additionally, I wanted to conclude with a statement made by Rashad. He appeared to be saying that he dislikes it when people discuss his platform. What might Rashad be discussing now? I'm not sure if he's referring to videos like this. He might be referring to JT the Pocket Watcher, but I'm not sure. You can do anything. However, I would advise Rashad to keep in mind that he also does the same thing. When he talks about businesses, Elon Musk, and all of these individuals going through things that, I remember Earning Your Leisure talking about him in a wild way back when he was bugging out. And additionally, they are discussing different men even when basketball parallels are made. Let's avoid misunderstandings. EIL's rise can be attributed to its utilization of pop culture to make financial literacy relatable to the target consumers. It's not a novel educational strategy, is it? They use culturally reflective pedagogy, but they do it. Analyzing frequently serves as the first step towards understanding. Additionally, I believe Rashad is simply acting in the same way when he disparages those who are trying to create platforms because, hey, JT already has one. And even though he talks about you all, he still offers excellent advice, much as you all do, but in a different way. Because of my knowledge, I offer great guidance, especially concerning financial literacy and content development. Hello, I bought Reddit for $90 and it is now $231.
put an end to the conversation if I gave you money. Okay, everyone, tell me what you think, though. Do you think Aristotle and EIL Wall Street Trapper will be popular once again? Not in my opinion. Something happened, I believe. Misunderstanding. Never again will these guys be cool. Perhaps after a few years, but not while they are actively participating in the game, in my opinion. Perhaps they will eat lunch, relax, and work out when they retire. Okay, everyone, observe me on Instagram.